4 win over Ted Nelson at 118 pounds. So the first match goes to the visiting North Dakota State second-ranked Bison. And as RJ said, they'll get the 3 team points. While we have the time, why don't we go ahead and go down how the teams get their points as far as like a major decision and all that sort of thing.
If two wrestlers tie or draw in a match, it is 2 points for each team. If there is a decision by 7 points or less, it's 3 team points for the winning team. A decision of 8 to 14 points is a major decision, which results in 4 points for that team. A technical fall is a win by 15 or more points, which results in 5 points, and they'll also stop the match once the wrestler gets ahead by 15. If a wrestler is pinned or the fall occurs, it's 16 points. So obviously you want to go for the big points. Especially in a close match like this, it might come down to who has the most big wins.
And you saw 2 wrestlers at 126 pounds, and this will be another good one. Mark upped his record to 22-8 last night with his win against North Dakota. The Mavericks won 7 out of 10 matches last night. They were just on fire.
Yeah. North Dakota, the team that they beat last night, was the number 6 ranked team in the country and also probably 4th ranked in the conference. You're looking at a conference that 5 out of the 8 teams in the conference are ranked in the top 10 in the nationals.
If that doesn't say something to the people nationally involved in collegiate wrestling, because year in and year out, the North Central Conference is always that good.
Yes, they dominate every year at the national tournament. They may not necessarily win the tournament, but they usually have 2 or 3 teams right there in the top 5. A few years ago, right here in this field house, North Dakota State beat UNO by just a few points to win the national tournament. Coach Bucky Maughan's first national title in his 27 years at North Dakota. Marc Bauer has been a real pleasant surprise for UNO this year. He's a sophomore out of Kearney and has really come on strong. They didn't expect him to be this strong, and he's done real well. Wayne Werner, on the other hand, last year was the NCC runner-up. So, again, 2 quality wrestlers right out here.
Well, so far they both just seem to be feeling each other out at this point. It's rather been a little vanilla match, but a few flashes of aggressiveness, but pretty much they both appear as if they like stand-up wrestling.
Well, it's still pretty early in the match. We just haven't had the opportunity to score takedown yet. I was a little surprised to see Wayne Werner's a senior, and his record's only 1-4. I don't know if he's been injured or if he's just been sitting out part of the year or what, but he's a quality wrestler. He's been around a long time. His older brother Steve, was an All-American for North Dakota State a few years back.
Well, Mark tried a maneuver that almost got him in trouble there, because he ended up having his knees on the mat but his back to his opponent. That's a scary position to be in.
Yeah, Marc Bauer, he's aggressive though, and you like to see that. I'd much rather see a wrestler go out there and be aggressive and try a move and maybe get caught and get in trouble once in a while than sit back and not try nothing.
Yeah, the leg sweep that you just saw Werner try is really one of the basic fundamental moves of wrestling, collegiate wrestling, but so many times you can get caught on it if you're the opponent, if you don't move quick enough or have your balance distributed, and that's one reason why the move is so popular.
Right. I'll tell you what, you'll see, the higher level of competition you get, moving up from 6-year-old kids to the college-age kids, the more basic it gets, the higher you get. You don't see a lot of flashy moves because they just don't work in college wrestling. The basic, single leg takedowns, double leg takedowns, those are what work the best. Right there you saw Marc Bauer get a takedown with a pretty basic move, ducked right under the arm.
And he got 2 points for that, so now Mark with a 2-0 lead over Werner.
Now what he's going to try to do here, he'll try to ride him out for this last 30 seconds of the match. He's not going to want to let him go. He doesn't want to give a cheap point at the end of the match, or at the end of the period, excuse me. What you saw there, Marc Bauer started on top in an international style, the freestyle start style on top. That's a new rule in the last few years of college wrestling. What you'll see gradually over the years, college wrestling is moving a little closer and a little closer to freestyle, the international style, which is used in the Olympics.
Right, I can understand why they're doing that, just to make things a little bit more even.
Personally, I'd like to see freestyle wrestling in the United States in college. It would make the United States a lot more competitive when it comes to the Olympics and World Championships. And he did an excellent job there riding him out. Built up 37 seconds of riding time. Now he's got a real advantage going in. A lot of times what you'll see, that first takedown's real important. The guy will get that first takedown. A lot of times that builds his confidence and even break his opponent.
Is there an advantage for some wrestlers to be the down wrestler sometimes?
Yes, there is, especially in the college level. It's pretty tough to turn an opponent. coming up against guys that are excellent wrestlers that just don't get turned to their back that often. So it's an easy point. You know, right there, you saw how quick Marc Bauer got out with no problem whatsoever.
And he gets a point for that. So now it's 3-0, Bauer over Werner. And they're out of bounds, so they'll come back. But, oh, Mark's holding his neck, back of his neck.
It doesn't look like they're going to attend to him at all.
Probably just got that occupational hazard crick in the neck, that bloody noses and twisted muscles. I mean, if you're going to wrestle, that's what you have to expect, I guess.
I'll tell you what, you talk about bloody noses. Marc Bauer has a younger brother, Andrew, that also wrestles on the UNO team. I think he gets a bloody nose the minute he walks in the field house. I don't know if it's the altitude or what, but he is a bleeder.
Sacrifice your blood for the team. Good balance by Bauer. Well, I'll tell you, there was an awful lot of pressure being put on his head and his neck by Werner there. Mark
occasionally
able to just work out of it.
Yeah, you'll see an opponent, your opponent gets hurt, and that almost becomes a target for you. You know, the guy's got a bunged up knee. You take advantage of that.
Well,
you know,
yeah,
that's part of the sport.
That's right. And I think your opponent would realize that also. It's not considered in any means by being unsportsmanlike or unfair. That's the part of the sport that muscular, but he does leg work really well.
I'll tell you, the biggest thing about your leg strength is the conditioning of your legs. You know, you always hear athletes say the legs are the first to go once you get tired. And it's real important in wrestling your legs are in good shape, because you start standing straight up and down, you're a target. You're sitting duck for single and double leg takedowns. That's why a wrestler always wants to stay in that good low position, and that comes from getting those legs in shape, spend a lot of time running, a lot of time on the bike. Warner's in on a single leg here. 30 seconds left. Bauer doesn't. Oh, there he gave up the takedown. That ties it up 3-3, Tori, with about 20 seconds left. Bauer wants to get out of bounds so they can get back and get a fresh start in the middle.
You know, I think you know, that caught Mark by surprise, because he was going for both legs on Werner. And the next thing you know, Werner's got one of Mark's legs up off the mat.
That's an excellent technique for a wrestler to use. Like you said, Werner countered Mark's shot with another shot. Wrestlers have a tendency, they'll make an offensive move and then they'll relax for a second. If you can capitalize on that, you can be... Okay, they're going to bring up a replay here of that throw while we're sitting here on an injury timeout. Marc Bauer looks like he might have got a hip pointer.
And they will run the clock on this, too. Here you go.
And here comes that throw. He's got the hands locked. He's going to step in right there and foot propped him for the throw. Block that foot to keep Werner from able to step out. Now Marc Bauer has 23 seconds in which to get the escape, and riding time's not going to be a factor in this match. Werner's probably just going to try to hang on for the tie.
Well, Mark came down on that takedown. He came down awfully hard on his left hip and immediately grabbed
Almost
him.
looked like there was a caution there on Werner, but the referee didn't call it.
Good job by Werner not to let
really
Mark
staying
go.
tough. Really got a good lift out of that to get Bauer off of his feet. Now he's got the legs in. There's not much chance he's going to get out in 10 seconds once the legs are stuck in there.
And that's all Werner wants to do. Werner checked the clock.
Once again, Bauer goes out of bounds trying to get that fresh start back in the middle. Individual, when I said he puts his legs in, he interlaces his legs with his opponent's legs. And it's a good riding technique.
Well, there's 3 seconds, probably less than 3 seconds. We don't have tenths of seconds on the clock, but I would imagine there's less than 3 seconds to go in this period.
There it is. It's a draw, Tori.
Bauer almost snuck out of there. Almost got loose.
That's a match that I was expecting Marc Bauer to win that match. He's been coming on real strong. But like I said, Wayne Werner has been around a while. He's currently ranked 5th in the country. Bauer's yet to be ranked. You know, he's come in here. He wasn't a starter last year, so he's a little bit of a no-name at this point. But I expect him to come on real strong at the end of the year.
So it ends in, as you heard RJ say, it ends in that draw. And North Dakota State now leads in the team total